Hey everyone, welcome to part 18 of this trophy and achievement guide for Metaphor ReFantazio. This is also part 2 of our New Game Plus guide. My apologies that the last couple parts have been a little bit slow to come out. My family was pretty sick with a bad stomach bug, but we're all feeling better now, and I'm happy to bring this new part to you. We're going to cover the entire month of July in the game, and we're going to do it all within the next hour, so strap in tight, because this is going to go fast. Let's dive right into it. We'll begin right where we left off in the afternoon of July 5th. Because it's an Idols Day, we're going to travel over to the Gauntlet Runner, because if we go inside and use the toilet, we're able to get a permanent +1 to our luck stat. So let's do that first. Now we're going to fast travel back over to Martira, and we want to go to the Thoroughfare Square area. Let's walk forward through the gate and then stick over toward the right side. We're going to find Cuculus sitting on the bench over here. Let's go ahead and talk to him, and we'll choose to spend some time with him. When we do that, we learn more about him, and we actually learn that his name is Alonzo, and we hit a rank 1 bond with him. This gives us access to a new archetype called the Faker, located on the right side of the archetype tree. Now it's the nighttime of July 5th, and we're going to spend our time with Brigitta, and when we do that, we'll advance her personal storyline, and we'll also hit rank 5 with her.
I'm glad to have you at my side.
Now in the afternoon of July 6th, we're going to go forward, and if we go toward the north side of the plaza, we can talk to the Gloomy Youth, who will give us the Hatching a Plan quest, and this will give us a new location on our map called Komero, which is located just to the east of town. Once we're done talking to him, we want to go a little bit further toward the north until we get to the recruitment center. When we talk to the recruiter dispatcher, we're going to accept a new bounty. It's the one all the way on the right side called Alpha Rockworm Valmo, Monstrous Man-Eater. When we accept this quest, we'll get a new marker on our map all the way toward the east past Komero. This is Man-Eater's Grotto. Once that's done, we're going to close out of the menu, and then we're going to fast travel over to the Blind Well Alley. And then we'll go forward and we'll interact with the Rotting Waterway, and we'll go down inside, and we'll choose to spend our time completing this dungeon today. Now inside Kriegante Castle, we're going to go forward and then over toward the right side, run all the way down the hallway until you get a cutscene. I'm just going to skip that, and then we're going to keep going forward to the end of this pathway. At the end of the walkway, turn left, and there's a contraption that you can use on the right side. So open that up, and then that will lower a bridge that we can cross. Let's go across that newly lowered bridge and then turn left and run all the way toward the north until we get to the end of the pathway, then turn left and go across. We'll turn north again and get another shortcut scene. After that, turn around and go through the tunnel. Once you've gone all the way west through the tunnel, turn right to go north, and then run all the way to the end of this walkway. There's another fish monster here. Let's just avoid him and then turn left and go across this bridge. Now we'll turn toward the right and keep looping around as we climb up the stairs, and we're going to then go through the tunnel at the end. There's a cutscene that plays out as we have to dodge the mysterious monster. All you've got to do is turn left and sprint to the end and then run up the stairs, and the monster will not see you. At that point, the monster goes away, and then we can continue on. We'll go forward a bit and then turn toward the left to keep running toward the north. Just go up the stairs and run straight ahead. You'll then go back down another set of stairs and then just keep going all the way toward the north for a cutscene. Here's another section where we have to dodge the monster. Just run slowly toward the left, and when the monster then turns around, you can then start sprinting toward the quest marker. Just follow the path around, break the urns along your path, and then go up the stairs to complete this section, and then the monster will go away again. We'll then proceed over toward the quest marker in the north, and then open up this door. Let's keep running forward until we get a shortcut scene.
You see?
After that, we want to turn toward the right and then use this contraption to lower another bridge. This is one of 6 that we have to lower in this area. Now we'll go across that bridge and climb the stairs on the far side of this area. Keep running along the path to the very end. And once you get toward this western edge, you're going to use the contraption. This is number 2. Once that bridge is lowered, we're going to backtrack to the lower area. So run around here. You can either fight the monsters or dodge them. It's your choice. Just keep going along the path past these tooth monsters and back down below. Now on the lower level, you can run over toward the north wall, and then you can use this contraption to lower the third and the final one on the right side. After that, we're going to head back a little bit south and then turn toward the west. We want to run across this little area and then use the contraption on the far west side. Once that bridge is lowered, Strohl will point out that there's only 2 gates remaining, so let's go ahead and get those. We'll run across the bridge, turn left, and then go up the stairs in the southwest corner. We'll loop all the way around to the top, and then we just have to run straight across toward the north, and we're going to go down the next set of stairs on the north end of this walkway. When you get down to the bottom of the stairs, it runs straight across, and then you can use this contraption. This is the 5th one, and once this bridge is lowered, we can then turn toward the right-hand side, and we're going to run toward the southern end of this area, and we're going to use this 6th and final contraption. After all that, there's going to be some cutscenes as the water lowers, and we're going to be on the platform right by the ladder. So turn around and descend the ladder. Now we have to make our way toward the north end of this room. You can either fight the monsters or ignore them all. It should be pretty easy for you. And now climb up the ladder. Now let's keep running forward toward the north. There is a Magla Hollow on your left if you need to use that. Otherwise, keep going until you get a cutscene. After that, then go forward, and on the right side past the first trans crystal is a crawl space you can go through, and then that will take you to the quest marker. After that is a little cutscene, and then we have to escape the monster. You just stay in the middle of this area and just run back and forth between the right and left side of the center path. It's pretty simple. Even if you hit a box or two, it's not a big deal. You should be able to get through it no problem. And then we're going to go forward along the path. There's another Magla Hollow here if you need it. Otherwise, keep going forward through the door to get the quest marker. There's going to be lots of cutscenes after that, and then Gallica will let you out of your prison cell as well as a couple of these monsters. They should go down in just one hit though, especially with that mage weapon. We can clear out the whole group in just one attack. Afterwards, we're then going to let out our second companion. This is going to be Heismay, and we're also going to release a couple dogs at the same time. These dogs are a little bit tougher. We just have to run forward a bit and then start attacking them. That should be able to keep them away from ambushing us, and then we'll be able to hit them. One of the monsters dies just from the ambush damage, and then the other one will die just from a couple physical attacks. So pretty easy fight. We don't have to use any MP for those guys.
Great job, everybody.
Let's collect all of our rewards, and then we'll clean up the rest of the enemies that didn't get destroyed in that first battle.
Hey, great job.
The next companion to rescue is Hulkenburg. We'll just run straight ahead and use the device in front of us that's going to let Hulkenburg out as well as 2 of the lizard men enemies. We'll run forward just a bit and then start attacking them. We want to be pretty aggressive here because otherwise they will try to ambush us, and we don't want that. So just keep the pressure on them, and then we're going to get our ambush ourselves. And then we just have to use a couple physical attacks again to take out the enemies. Heismay isn't equipped with the best equipment yet, so he's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Don't worry, we will be updating him before we get to the boss.
I continue to grow.
After the battle and all of our rewards, then we're going to have an opportunity to release Strohl. We just have to turn toward the south end of the room, use that contraption to release him as well as a Kaimenza. You need to be really aggressive with this one to make sure he doesn't hit you first, so dash forward and then try to hit him before he ambushes us. Even if he hits us first, it's not a big deal, he won't do a ton of damage to us, but we definitely want to get that early assault damage on him. And now we're just going to hit him with a couple physical attacks, or you can use some magic, but if you are going to use magic, just be aware that he does resist both fire and lightning, so don't use those, but you can use Blizz, and that should do a lot of damage to him. And now we'll just finish him off with another physical attack, and all of these fights will be done, and then we can proceed forward with the story after we get all of our rewards for this fight.
Keep your energy up, everyone.
There'll be some more cutscenes that I'm going to skip, and then we just have to run straight forward toward the west. We'll go up the stairs at the end, and then we'll turn toward the right side. We'll run up some more stairs, and that will take us to a new area. Turn toward the right, go through the door, and then proceed forward a little bit further to the main hallway. Then turn toward the right, go up the stairs, and through the door. And we're almost done with this whole dungeon. We just have to go forward a little bit more and then open up the doors to get into the room just before the boss fight. We'll head over toward the southwest corner, and before we go through the smoky door, we're going to go into our archetype tree, and we're going to move Heismay from his current thief job up to the merchant archetype. So let's go ahead and equip this one onto him. It gives us the Fortune Abacus because it's technically the best weapon for damage. However, we need to switch that off from the Fortune Abacus to the Fortune God's Abacus that we got in the Tyrant Star dungeon during the previous playthrough. It triples the strength and cost of money skills, but that means we can do a lot of damage. We'll also give him the Gambler's Manual accessory. We're going to give Hulkenburg the Rainbow Scale accessory to give her +5 to all of her stats. Now with Strohl, we have a bit of a choice. During the Tyrant Star dungeon, I got a good accessory called the Mirror of Isaiah, which will repel physical attacks. If you don't have one of those, however, if it didn't drop for you, then use the Narcissus Brooch to give him +15 to magic and luck. And then with the protagonist, we're going to give him the Radiant Crystal to raise all of his stats by 8. So now that we're all set up, let's go ahead and go through that smoky door and fight the boss. This is Homo Geluzo, and no matter what, we cannot defeat it on the first turn, so don't worry too much about that. We're going to begin by hitting it with a bot spell from our protagonist, and that will do a good amount of damage. And now with Heismay, we're going to use Gold Attack. If we happen to get a critical hit, it is going to do a lot of damage, but we still have it almost dead just from this first little bit here. Hulkenburg will use another bot to lower it even more, and then with Strohl we'll use another bot, and that should take it down to just about dead. But like I said, we cannot defeat it because we have to have the enemy use the Mother's Love to heal it a little bit. We'll get attacked a little bit. If this enemy attacks Strohl, we'd actually get through this fight without having any damage, but it hit Hulkenburg instead. No big deal. Back to our turn, we're going to have our protagonist use bot. That's going to get it pretty low on health, and now we can finish it off with Heismay using a gold attack. If this didn't work, we've still got a couple turns left, and we can just have Strohl and Hulkenburg finish it with their fire spells. All in all, this is a very easy battle, not quite an unscathed triumph just because of that plot armor not allowing us to kill it on that first turn, but we do get up to level 21 with our protagonist, and I'm going to put 1 point into strength just so it doesn't fall too far behind. Let's continue getting all the rest of our rewards and leveling up. There'll be a number of cutscenes, after which we're going to hit rank 3 with Gallica, and that will give us access to a new archetype called the Wizard, which is a little bit better than the Mage that we're rocking on our party right now. It's now the afternoon of July 7th, and we want to run straight ahead and talk to Bardon, who's sitting over here inside the main plaza area. After we choose to spend some time with him, we'll get a little bit of his personal story, and then we're going to hit rank 1 with him, and he is a new follower for us. This gives us access to a new archetype called the Commander, and it's located in the lower right corner of the archetype tree. Now in the night of July 7th, we want to spend our time with Heismay. So let's go ahead and talk to him, and then that will also get us a new rank with him. And now we have a rank 2 bond with Heismay. In the afternoon of July 8th, we're going to spend our time with Maria. So open up that follower menu with the left directional button, scroll down to find Maria, and let's go spend some time with her. At that point, we're going to hit rank 3 with her, and this will give us access to another archetype called the Cleric. The Cleric gives us access to some powerful light-based attacks, which we'll use later. Now, in the night of July 8th, we're going to spend our time with Brigitta. So open up that menu, scroll down to Brigitta, and choose to spend some time with her. And now we have a rank 6 bond with Brigitta.
Why? Why did you?
It's now the afternoon of July 9th, and we're going to spend our time with Strohl. And at this point, we hit rank 5 with Strohl.
I must use my nobility for good.
He also gives us a quest called A Noble's Legacy that we have to complete if we want to get to rank 6 with him. Now, in the night of July 9th, there's nothing that we have to do, so we'll go over into the guest room, and then we're going to spend our time sleeping. In the afternoon of July 10th, we're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner. Because it's an Idols Day, we can use the toilet to get a +1 to our luck stat. Now that we're here anyway, let's go into the strategy room so that we can use the Round Table's route map option to plot a course for our next destination. What we want to do is to go over toward the Man-Eater's Grotto, located toward the east. And now that we're moving, we have access to a new activity. We have to go over to the study or the lounge area, and then we're going to use this plant culture chamber. It's going to give us a hero's fruit seed for free, and then we can use that and spend our time planting that seed so that we can harvest the hero's fruit later on. After that, we're going to find ourselves in Komero. We've got a couple things to do here. We will automatically get a few items, the glass ornament as well as the inventor's journal, and at that point we automatically get a new rank with Neuras, and this is rank 1, giving us access to the gunner archetype located in the upper left corner of the archetype tree. And then we get to spend some actual time in Komero. We're going to sell off any of the valuables that we happen to have, and then we want to buy a couple items while we're here. So if you go over all the way to the right side, we can use the tab for the key items, and we'll get the practical pigeon parcel, and then we can buy a couple items like the fleeting fountain of youth, which will give us a +2 to our agility stat whenever we use it while taking a bath on the Gauntlet Runner, and we will be doing that quite a bit. So buy some of those. You can even buy all of them if you want to, and then we choose to continue our trip. We then find ourselves inside the Man-Eater's Grotto. Let's run straight forward and go through the door.
Let's go. Hey.
Let's keep running forward all the way toward the north, and then we're going to drop down to the lower level. From here, keep going toward the north and then stick off toward the left side. We basically want to go all the way as far north as what we can go along these paths. And then once we get to this intersection, go over toward the east and then use the ramp to get up to the higher elevation. We then want to circle this rock formation around going in a clockwise motion, and then look on the right side because you can go through this crawl space into the middle of the area. If you then turn left and loop around the corner, you can open up a treasure chest. This contains a new relic for Neuras, which will allow us to hit rank 2 with him. After you have the relic, then we just want to turn around and then drop down to the lower level. This basically takes us to the beginning of the dungeon. We then want to run over toward the west side, and then once again we want to go all the way back up to the north end of this area. Once you get to the far north end of this area, keep going down the northern stairs and you'll go to a lower level. Turn around the corner toward the left and you'll drop down to a new area. We basically want to make our way down toward the southwest corner of this map. So you can go a couple routes because they do connect. I'm just going to follow the path in the southwest corner, and then that will take me to a trance crystal. At that point, I'll turn left and start heading all the way down toward the south corner. Now we'll turn toward the west and go all the way up this ramp. And we're almost at the end of the dungeon. We'll just turn right to start heading north and go all the way toward the north end of this area. Turn toward the left and then make your way past Moore's Cat, and you'll see that the boss door is right in front of us. We'll take a moment just to get ourselves equipped and ready for this boss fight, but it's pretty easy. Starting off, we're going to take our protagonist and move him from the mage to the wizard archetype that we just recently unlocked. And with Strohl, we'll do the same thing. We'll make him a wizard, and Hulkenburg will also become a wizard, but we don't have to worry about any of their inherited skills. And now for Heismay, we're going to actually leave him as the merchant. We don't have to make any changes to Heismay at all. Once that's done, let's go through the door and fight the boss. We actually get two versions of this enemy, the Alpha Rockworm Valmo. These guys are very weak to ice magic, so let's use a Blizza on them. One attack will basically eliminate that enemy, and now we can just use Heismay's gold attack to finish him off. Now with Hulkenburg, we're going to use a Blizza to do lots of damage to him, if not outright eliminate him. And then with Strohl, we are only a rank 1 wizard, so I don't have access to Blizza yet, so I can either just use a physical attack, or I can just pass the turn over to someone else, like the protagonist, to use another Blizza. We ended that fight with way more turn icons than what we needed. It was a very easy fight. Now let's just get all of our rewards. At this point, our protagonist got enough experience to hit level 22, and with that, I'm going to give him 1 more point into the strength stat. We also got enough archetype experience so that Strohl's wizard could learn Blizza by hitting rank 2. After that, we'll then get the item that we need to turn in the bounty, and then we want to choose to return to the entrance.
In that case.
Let's run straight ahead and then leave this dungeon, and we'll choose to return to town. Because we went into a dungeon during the day, this will conclude the rest of our day, as well as all of the nighttime, as we have to rest and recover our MP. Now it's July 11th in the afternoon, and we want to run toward the north end of the plaza so that we can talk to the gloomy youth. Because we picked up that practical pigeon parcel from Komero, we're able to turn that in and get a small reward. And for some reason, this other man really wants a hug and keeps bumping into me. Alright, well now we're going to go over and we're going to talk to Moore, and we're going to go over to Academia. Let's go over and talk to Moore, and we'll actually rank up with him 3 times. The first one, when we hit rank 3, is because we now have studied the Gunner archetype from Neuras, and we're also going to get access to another archetype, the Magic Seeker. Then, because we've already studied and gotten up to a rank 15 merchant, we hit rank 4 with Moore. And finally, because we've studied 15 different archetypes, we then hit rank 5 with him. In order for us to get rank 6 with Moore, we actually have to get a rank 15 general, but that's locked behind progress with Bardon, so we'll work on that later. For now, we're going to open up the follower menu and go down to Maria, and we're going to spend time with her. We now hit rank 4 with Maria, and that gives us a new ability called Purpose, which increases our post-battle experience, which is very good because I'm not fighting a lot of battles. This will just give me more experience for the few battles that I'm actually fighting. And now in the night of July 11th, we're going to go ahead and spend some time with Neuras. Because we got to a relic inside of the Man-Eater's Grotto, we can then turn that into him and we'll hit rank 2.
We're in this journey together, what?
Now in the afternoon of July 12th, we want to go turn in that bounty that we got for the Alpha Rockworm Valmo. So go over to the Recruiter Dispatcher, turn that in, and get all of your rewards. After that, we're going to open up the follower menu and then go down to Hulkenburg, and we're going to spend some time with her.
Now then.
And now we're at Hulkenburg rank 4.
You have given me such strength.
In the night of July 12th, we're going to go down and spend some time with Brigitta. This is going to get us up to rank 7. We actually can't get up to rank 8 until much later in the game, so that's all that we have to do with Brigitta for a very long time. And then in the afternoon of July 13th, we're going to spend time with Maria again. And this will get us up to rank 5. On the night of July 13th, there's nothing to do but to go into the guest room, use the bed, and sleep.
Alright then.
It's now the afternoon of July 14th, and we're going to spend our time with Heismay. This gets us up to rank 3, giving us access to another archetype, the Assassin. And now it's the nighttime of July 14th. There's nothing to do but to go into the guest room, use the bed, and rest. It's now the afternoon of July 15th, and because it's an Idols Day, we can travel over to the Gauntlet Runner and then use the toilet to get a permanent +1 to our luck stat.
Alright.
After that, we're going to fast travel over to the Royal Capital Grand Trad, and we want to go to the Regolith Grand Cathedral area.
Come to think of it,
I love it.
We'll start by going forward until we get to the merchants, and we want to stick over toward the right-hand side because eventually we're going to get close enough to the fishmonger to trigger a little cutscene, and then we just want to go forward and talk to him.
What is it?
After the conversation, we want to head over toward the north, past all the merchants, and just past the water cellar is going to be another person, the capital merchant. Once we talk to him, we want to choose option 3, Did His Fish Stink? That's going to help us complete the quest, A Noble's Legacy. After you're done talking to him, we can open up the follower menu and go down to Strohl. We'll select him and we will choose to spend some time with him. When we do that, we're going to not only complete the quest, A Noble's Legacy, but we'll also rank up with him, this time getting to rank 6.
Carry them too.
And then it's the nighttime of July 15th. There's nothing more to do than to go into the guest room, use the bed, and sleep. Now it's the afternoon of July 16th, and we're going to spend our time with Maria.
mister.
And that gets us up to rank 6.
I wonder if Papa is watching.
It's now the night of July 16th, and we're going to spend our time with Heismay.
Apologies.
This gets us up to rank 4 with Heismay.
My thanks.
After that, there's some more cutscenes that I'm skipping, and we'll be forced to go down to Port Brilehaven. It is located way down toward the south, and we're going to be going through Catherina's Gauntlet Runner on the way there, which means we'll have to fight her along the way. So let's choose to go to Port Brilehaven, and we'll be on our way. Now that we're traveling, we can do a few activities, the first of which we can go over to the study or the lounge area to check on that plant culture chamber, and we're going to harvest the fruit that we planted a while ago. After that, we're going to go outside, and we're going to go down the ladder into the engine room corridor. From here, we can do a couple things. We can use the washing machine to increase our protagonist's MP by 3 points, or we can use the upright cleaning tool to get 5 more HP. And then at nighttime, we want to fast travel over to the rear deck because there's a bath cask over here that we can use. And when we do that, we want to also put in some salts, and that will boost our stats a little bit. We've got a couple of them, most of them carrying over from our previous playthrough. Let's have a look at what each of these do, and then we can make our selection. So starting off, the Prince's Serene Embrace is going to increase our maximum MP by 2 points. The Uncle Electro's Wonder Salts are going to increase our strength by 2 points. The Niflheim Plunge is going to increase our magic by 2 points. And the Fleeting Fountain of Youth is going to increase our agility by 2 points. This is really nice because our level is pretty low, but it means that we're still getting additional stat points as if we were leveling up. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Fleeting Fountain of Youth to get 2 more points toward the agility stat, which will help me to not miss the enemies as much. Now it's the afternoon of July 18th, and we're going to go back downstairs using the ladder to the engine room corridor, and you can use the upright cleaning tool or the washing machine, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use the washing machine again to get +3 to my maximum MP because I use magic more than I lose health. And then after that it's going to be the nighttime. Once again, we're going to fast travel over to the rear deck and we're going to use the bath cask. Let's choose to take our bath, and then we're going to give ourselves the Uncle Electro's Wonder Salts, which will give me +2 to the strength stat. Now it's the afternoon of July 19th. We're going to go back down into the engine room corridor using the ladder, and then you can once again use either the washing machine or the upright cleaning tool. Just for variety, I'll use the upright cleaning tool to give myself 5 more of my maximum HP. After that, we're going to be forced into a fight against Catherina, but it's incredibly easy, especially because she is so weak to fire damage, and we happen to have 3 mages on our team. Let's have our protagonist use the Batra spell to do lots of damage to her, if not eliminate her outright. If you wanted to, you could have Heismay attack, or you can just pass the turn over to another party member. In this case, Hulkenburg is going to use another Batra and finish the fight. Honestly, one physical attack would have been enough to finish her off from Heismay, but it doesn't really matter because we get all of our MP back anyway. After the fight, we'll get all of our rewards, and this is going to be enough to get our protagonist to level up again, this time up to level 23, and I'm going to give myself another stat point. This time I'm going to put it into Endurance. And after that, we hit a new follower rank with Catherina, and we get up to rank 3, giving us access to another archetype, this time called the Pugilist. On the night of July 19th, we're going to fast travel over to the rear deck and use the bath cask once again. This time I'm going to use the Uncle Electro's Wonder Salts to give myself another +2 to our strength stat. Then after a whole bunch of story cutscenes, we'll be inside Port Brilehaven. Let's go forward and then turn toward the left. We want to make our way over toward the northwest corner of the area because that's where the quest marker is. We'll go down and talk to the ferryman, and when we talk to him, we'll get to choose a new destination to go to. This time we want to go to the Anglers Inn Square Inn District. Let's go forward up the ramp, and when we get to the top, we'll have a shortcut scene where the King's Rock is moving into position over Port Brilehaven. Let's continue forward over the bridge, and then we want to stick over toward the right side so that we can go and talk to Loveless. After a short conversation, we're going to go over toward the northwest corner of this area so that we can talk to Lena. And now we'll keep going over toward the south so that we can talk to Milo.
What is it you require?
After that short conversation, we're going to go back across the bridge and then turn toward the right and go all the way down the street to the very end. Over here, we can talk to the Wary Innkeep and then go into the Spider's Den. There's nothing more to do here than to go forward and use the bed. In the afternoon of July 22nd, we're going to go past the tavern and we're going to go all the way toward the western side of this road so that we can talk to the ferryman, and he's going to take us to another area called the Anglers Inn Square Night Prowler. Now go forward, there'll be some cutscenes inside this cave, and then that will take you back out to the docks. We'll talk to the ferryman once again. This time we want to go to the Warship Harbor Courageous Front. We'll continue toward the north as we go along this road, and then in the new area we want to go over toward where our companions are, and we can get close to the entrance to the Courageous that will take us inside. All we have to do is run straight ahead to get a cutscene, and that's all there is to that. Back inside the Spider's Den, let's use the bed and sleep. On the afternoon of July 23rd, we want to make our way back over toward the ferryman. So let's go all the way west down this road, and when we talk to him, we want to choose to go to Seabreeze Street.
Right then.
Let's go up the ramp and then circle around toward our right so that we can talk to the man with the exclamation mark above his head. He's going to give us a little quest, and we need to go to a place called Inundo. Lucky for us, he's going to mark it on our map for us. It's just a little bit north of where we currently are.
A village.
After that, we're going to proceed along the road over toward the north, and we need to go all the way to the northeast corner of this area so that we can go down into the Merchant's Bazaar.
Pardon?
From here, we're going to head straight forward over the bridge. Just past Strohl is going to be a craftsman. When we talk to him, he's going to give us the quest Superior Scrimshaw. That takes place at the Forsaken Tower, but he doesn't mark it on our map. Now let's keep going north along the street and then go into the door on the right side so that we can go into the recruitment center. Let's go over and talk to the recruiter dispatcher, and he's going to give us a new bounty. We want to choose the one all the way on the left for Fatalich Lamentable Dead. This takes place in the Tomb of Lament, which is found just a little bit north of Inundo.
Let's see here.
And we'll be taking care of this bounty pretty soon. After that, we want to open up our follower menu, and we're going to scroll down until we get to Bardon, and we're going to spend some time with him. This will get us up to rank 2 with Bardon.
I'll do anything for this town.
After that, it's going to be the night of July 23rd, and we're going to spend our time with Alonzo.
Interesting.
This gets us up to rank 2 with Alonzo.
It's really coming down.
After that, it's the afternoon of July 24th, and we're going to choose to spend our time with Maria. We now hit rank 7 with Maria, and that gives us another ability called Burning Purpose, which significantly increases our post-battle experience, which is going to be very nice for us. Now, in the night of July 24th, we want to go forward and talk to the Seasoned Man. He's the informant here, and we're going to buy the information for the Fiend of the Forsaken Tower. The craftsman who gave us the Superior Scrimshaw quest told us about the Forsaken Tower, but this piece of intel actually puts it on our map, and it's located very far toward the north, even further north than the Tomb of Lament, and we have to go through Catherina's Gauntlet Runner on the way there. Now let's fast travel over to the Spider's Den. There's nothing more that we have to do, so we're just going to go ahead and use the bed and rest for the night. On the afternoon of July 25th, we're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner. Now we'll go forward and we'll use the Round Table's Route Map option to choose a new destination. We want to chart a course for the Forsaken Tower, which is located toward the northwest. So go all the way past all of the locations on our map that we can see and choose to go to the Forsaken Tower. Now that we're on the move, we're going to turn around and we're going to use the toilet. Because it's an Idle's Day, we get a permanent +1 to our luck stat. After that, we're going to then use our follower menu to select Heismay, and we'll choose to spend some time with him. And this will take us to rank 5 with Heismay. And now we're going to be put into a battle against some random enemies. I got some of these blue Elementas. Once the Neuras bombs them, then we get a chance to attack. Now we'll just have our protagonist use the synthesis ability Gabatra, and we'll eliminate both of these enemies very easily. After that, some reinforcements come in. These guys are also very weak, so let's go ahead and use another Gabatra just to finish them all off. After the fight, we'll get our rewards, but these are very weak enemies, so we don't get very much anyway.
I shall rise to the occasion.
And then we're going to be inside the town of Inundo. When the store menu pops up, we can sell off any valuables that we might have, and then we'll go to the buy option. We want to go down and purchase some of these Hell's Boiling Bath Bombs that will increase our endurance by 2 points when we use them in the bath cask. And then we'll purchase one of these Toothbrush of Hygienias from the Key Items tab. After that, we're all done. We're going to choose to continue our trip.
Alright then.
Once again on the move, but it's at nighttime. We just want to go around the round table and talk to Hulkenburg. We'll choose to spend our time with her, and then that will also allow us to rank up with her. This time we get up to rank 5.
What to pick?
In the afternoon of July 26th, we want to use a ladder to go down into the engine room corridor, and we can use either the washing machine or the upright cleaning tool. You can make your pick there depending on if you want more MP or more HP. I just decided to use the washing machine. And then after that, we're inside the Tomb of Lament. We'll run forward and go through the door and enter the dungeon.
Let's go.
We'll start by running straight ahead toward the end of the hallway, and then turn left to go down the hallway toward the west. We'll circle around it toward the south, and then turn right to ultimately head toward the west. We'll run all the way down this hallway to the very end, at which point we're going to turn toward the right and head north and go down the stairs. At the very beginning of this next area, we'll go forward slightly and then look at the wall on the right, because that gives us a crawl space we can go through. And then we want to go forward and turn toward the left before finding another crawl space to go through. This is going to take us to the treasure chest that contains another one of Neuras' relics. So let's go ahead and pick that up and get it out of the way.
Nice.
Here we go.
Now we're going to backtrack through those crawl spaces back to the main hallway. And from here, we're going to turn right and head north. We want to go all the way to the far northeast corner of this room. There's going to be a passageway that goes to the east. We want to go over and use these stairs going up. In this new area, we need to make our way down to the far southeast corner of this room. So you can go either direction that you want to. Each path will take you to where you want to go. Just make your way over toward the southeast. And inside this room, there's going to be a switch on the wall that you can use, and that's going to open up a passageway. We want to use that passageway, just go a little bit toward the south, only one intersection, and then turn toward the left to go east. We'll run past all of these skeleton monsters straight ahead toward the east, and we'll go down the stairs. In this next area, we want to make our way all the way up to the northwest corner of the area. On the way there, we're going to encounter a large group of skeleton enemies and one of those Gooptoroses. We're just going to avoid all of those guys and take the passageway up toward the north. At that point, when we get to the far north end, turn left and start heading toward the west, before ultimately turning south and going up the stairs. Here we just have to cross over to the other corner of the room and use another switch on the wall to open up a passageway. Once again, we're going to go just ever so slightly toward the south, only one intersection, and then turn toward the left again to head east. This is going to let us loop around to where the boss door is. There's Morris Cat on the right side, so you can save it if you want to, but this is a pretty easy fight. Let's open up the menu and then go to the archetype tree. You want to make sure that both Strohl and Hulkenburg have studied how to be the healer archetype. They're only rank 1 now, but we're actually going to master the healer archetype on both of those characters. So go into the items, and we've been accumulating a lot of these Heroes Leaves of Light. Let's start with Strohl, and we're going to go down and start using them one after another to get that healer archetype mastered at rank 20. Then we're also going to use the same method on Hulkenburg. So keep using all those Heroes Leaves of Light and get her healer up to rank 20 as well and master it. At that point, we're going to go back to the archetype tree, and we want to select Strohl. We're going to go down and we're going to choose to study the cleric archetype. We only had to master the healer in order to get access to this. It's going to cost 6,750 mag to study it. We don't have to channel it or equip that onto him, however. We just have to study it so that we get the Hamayon spell. Also, make sure that he has studied the Thief archetype. You probably have that already, but if not, make sure that you just study it for right now. And then with Hulkenburg, we're going to make sure that she has the Thief as well as the Cleric studied. Again, we're not going to channel that with her, we just have to get access to that Hamayon spell. So we'll go up to the Wizard and we're going to inherit Hamayon. This is going to cost 2,400 mag just to make it available to us. So we'll equip that onto Hulkenburg. We're also going to equip that onto Strohl.
All right.
Finally, our protagonist is also a wizard, and we're going to have him inherit Heismay as well.
All right.
In summary, we have 3 wizards all inheriting Heismay, and we also have Heismay, who's going to be the merchant.
So?
Now we're going to go through the door and fight the boss. This is the Fatal Lich, and if we look at what he's strong and weak to, we'll notice that he repels most magic except for light damage, which is good for us because now we all have Heismay. So let's go ahead and start spamming that toward him and do lots of damage. Heismay's gold attack uses almighty damage, so he does not repel this or resist it in any way. After that, we're going to have Hulkenburg also use Heismay. Because we came here on a day with bad weather, we're not getting the additional turn icons for hitting his weakness, but that's okay, we're still able to finish him off with Strohl all in that first turn. This will give us another unscathed triumph, greatly boosting the amount of experience and archetype experience that we get. This is enough to get our protagonist up to level 24. At that point, I'm going to put another point into magic. Strohl also got enough archetype experience to teach his wizard Catherina, which is going to be very useful later on. We'll then get the Chalice of Legends, as well as the opportunity to head back to the entrance. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go forward, but this time we are not going to go back to town. Instead, when we talk to Gallica, we want to choose to set up camp, which is option 2. And then we're going to say, I want to go somewhere else, which is also option 2. We're then going to be back in the Gauntlet Runner at nighttime, and because we just collected a relic for Neuras, we can go ahead and spend the evening talking to him, and that is going to get us up to another rank with him. This time we hit rank 3. This will give us access to another archetype called the Sniper, which is the upgraded version of the Gunner. Because we told Gallica that we want to go somewhere else, we're going to choose another destination. This time we're going to go further north to the Forsaken Tower. As we travel, we'll have the opportunity to do a few activities as well as fight some enemies. In the afternoon of July 27th, we're going to spend our time with Hulkenburg. This will get us up to rank 6 with Hulkenburg.
Witness my struggle and I shall stand victorious.
We're then forced into the first Gauntlet Runner fight of the 2 that we're going to have to do, this one against Roger the Libertarian. We'll begin the fight by having our protagonist use the synthesis ability Gabliza. That's going to hit all the enemies. One of them is weak to ice, and he should go down with just this one attack. After that, we're going to have Heismay use his gold attack against Roger, and that should finish him off. If it doesn't, you still have lots of turn icons to pick him off with your other characters. After the fight, we'll get all of our rewards. This was another unscathed triumph, giving us a big bonus to our experience, and that is enough to get us up to level 25 with the protagonist. And at this point, I'm going to put another point into the magic stat.
I shall rise to be a...
I shall strive.
Even I had more...
Now at nighttime on July 27th, we're going to go over to the rear deck and we're going to use the bath cask once again. And then we'll use some more of those Uncle Electro's Wonder Salts to give us +2 to our strength stat. And now we get into another fight against some random enemies. And as always, Neuras is going to begin the battle by blasting them and taking away a little bit of their health. The enemy in the middle is going to be weak to fire, so let's go ahead and use a Gabatra to hit all the enemies. Some of those enemies resist it, but that's okay. It's still definitely powerful enough to take them all down. And now they get reinforced by a green Elementa, so let's go ahead and just use an electric attack like Catherina to finish this guy off very quickly. Now let's collect all of our rewards and then keep on going.
Was that easy, eh? Not bad, if I say so myself.
And now in the afternoon of July 28th, we're going to head downstairs into the engine room corridor using the ladder. You can use either the washing machine or the upright cleaning tool. If you use the upright cleaning tool, I would recommend that you clean the storage room. That gives you a chance of getting tailbait, which you can use for fishing later on. And then we're forced into another fight against Catherina, which is actually a good thing because when we fight her, we get to rank up with her after the battle. Neuras will begin by attacking her, and then it's our turn to attack. She's still weak to fire, so we're going to have our protagonist use Batra and do a lot of damage to her. After that, you can either have Heismay use his gold attack, or pass the turn over to Hulkenburg, who can finish the fight with another Batra. We'll collect all of our rewards after the fight, and we get a boost because it's an unscathed triumph, and that gets us almost up to level 27. We're just a little bit shy of that, but we're level 26, and I'm going to put one more point into the magic stat, raising it up to 35. There's going to be some more cutscenes, and then we're going to rank up with Catherina. This time we hit rank 4 with her. And then we're going to find ourselves inside the Forsaken Tower. Let's run forward and go through the door to enter the dungeon.
Let's go.
All we have to do is turn left and run around this tower to get up to the top. We're going to stick over toward the right-hand wall as we go up the first couple floors. And once again, just stick over toward the right side, running all the way around the large circular floors until we can go up the stairs again. Now we're going to go to the left side and we're going to open up the door. There's going to be some enemies in front of us, but we can basically just ignore them and run straight across to the other side. We'll open up the door again and then go through, and then we'll go over toward the left side and climb up the tower. At the top, we just want to keep circling around until we can climb up the stairs on the opposite side of the room. And now we'll turn left and open up the door again. Keep running straight ahead past all the enemies and open up the door on the far side.
Remain steadfast. Some foes still draw breath.
Again, turn left and climb up the stairs to the next floor. We'll go across this bridge area to the other side, and then we're going to turn left and go up the stairs again. I just so happened to get the protagonist up to level 27 because some of the enemies like to blow themselves up and give us some experience. Now at the top, before we go into the boss door, we want to go into our item menu and use some more of those Hero's Leaves of Light. This time with Strohl, we're going to get his Thief archetype all the way up to rank 20. And after you master that, we'll do the same thing with Hulkenburg, get her Thief up to rank 20 as well. After that, we're going to go over into the archetype tree, and starting with our protagonist, we're going to switch Hamayon for Mudun. This does medium darkness-based damage. Now with Strohl, we're going to do the same thing. We will replace Hamayon with Mudun. And finally with Hulkenburg, we'll do the same thing, replace Hamayon with Mudun.
Alright.
And that's all the setup that we need to do. Let's go forward and go through the boss door. Because we're fighting this enemy in bad weather, we don't get the benefit of having the extra turn icons for hitting a weakness. That has a very small impact on this fight. So starting off, we're going to have our protagonist use Mudun to do a lot of damage to the enemy. Now we can either attack with gold attack, or you can just pass the turn over. So I'm just going to pass Heismay's turn over to Hulkenburg to hit with another Mudun. Because I passed Heismay's turn, it basically means that I get to use that Mudun attack 5 times in this first turn. However, if I had used gold attack, there is a chance I could have gotten a critical hit, and that might actually do more damage. So it was kind of a judgment call there. It doesn't really matter though, because the enemy will attack maybe just 1 time, and it's not going to do that much damage to you. So unfortunately, I lose the Unscathed Triumph, but it doesn't really matter. Here I'm going to use one of those gold attacks just to show you how much damage it does when you get a critical hit. It did almost 3,000 damage, which was enough to finish the fight. So either you can pass Heismay's turn or attack with him, it doesn't really matter. Now I hit level 28 with the protagonist, and because I leveled up one time outside of combat, I actually have 2 stat points to give. I'm going to put them both into magic.
I continue.
After that, we're going to collect the item, the ebony horn, and then we're going to have the option of going back to the entrance. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we're just going to run straight forward and we're going to exit the Forsaken Tower. When we do that, we're going to choose to return to town. That will conclude our daytime activity as well as the nighttime activity. Because we entered a dungeon during the day, we have to spend the nighttime resting and recovering. It's now the afternoon of July 29th, and we're going to fast travel over to the recruitment center inside Fort Brilehaven so that we can turn in the bounty that we just completed. So let's go ahead and talk to the recruiter dispatcher. We'll turn in the Fatalich bounty and get 52,500 Reeve thanks to the bounty bonus that we get for ranking up with Catherina. Now we can leave the recruitment center and go back into the main street of the Merchant's Bazaar. We'll turn left and head south down the road, stick toward the left side, and just before you get to Strohl, we can talk to that craftsman again, and we can turn in the quest Superior Scrimshaw and get 25,000 more Reeve. After that, we can go right next to him and talk to Strohl, and we're going to choose to spend some time with him.
Thanks.
This is going to get us up to rank 7 with Strohl, which gives us access to another archetype, an elite archetype called the Samurai. After that, it's nighttime of July 29th, and we're going to choose to spend our time with Alonzo. This will get us up to rank 3 with Alonzo.
I find myself wanting to believe you.
In the afternoon of July 30th, we're going to fast travel over to Seabreeze Street because we have a quest to turn in over there. Because we went to Inundo and got the Toothbrush of Hygienia, we can head over toward the northwest corner, talk to the Sullen Man, and turn in the Dental Distress quest and get 15,000 more Reeve. He also gives us a gold beetle, but that doesn't really matter. We've already collected all the gold beetles and got all the rewards and the trophy and achievement related to that, so we're not focusing on gold beetles in this run. Now we're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner. Because it is an Idols Day, we're able to use the toilet and get a +1 to our luck stat. And now we're going to open up the follower menu, scroll down until we find Maria, and we're going to spend the day with her. This is going to get us up to rank 8 with her, giving us access to another archetype, an elite archetype called the Savior.
What to pick?
And now it's nighttime of July 30th, and we're going to choose to spend our time with Heismay. At this point, we hit rank 6 with Heismay.
I found a way to change. Surely they too.
And there you go, we completed the entire month of July, and it's now August 1st, and this is where we're going to end part 18. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and also comment down below. Those things really help me out. And make sure that you're subscribed to the channel if you want to stay up to date with these videos as they come out. Just for fun, we're also keeping track of how long this run is taking. We started at 41 hours and 1 minute, and now we're up to 45 hours and 4 minutes. So it's taken just over 4 hours of playtime to get up to this point, which I think is a pretty good run. Anyway, I'll see you soon for part 19, where we do the entire month of August. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.